Today's adventure begins here in downtown Celebration. Looking over at the theater there in the distance. As a recording of this, it is Wednesday, March 15th, 2023. Prepare for a view of a branch. I think they call that maybe framing in the photography world. Not that I'm a photographer, but yeah. It is nice, crisp, and cool out today. It's like in the high 50s right now. I was pleasantly surprised when I arrived into town late last night at the coolness of the weather. Now, it probably will not last for more than a few days. But as a Floridian, I am enjoying non-humidity, non-sun, and cool, crisp overcastness right now. It's also good to be back. Ooh, just permeated a little higher up there. Formulated itself into the sky. Some of the dialogue I use is pretty ridiculous. Welcome everyone, TheDailyWoo here. And with the cool, crisp weather, nothing better than a nice piping hot caffeinated beverage. Join me, shall you? The parking deterrent over there, if that's not enough, they got these that look like little chess pieces here. This is like a teetering chess piece. At least that's what it kind of reminds me of. So basically today is going to just be a casual day. Got a couple things in mind I want to do. One of them to head over to where the Tampa Bay Rays farm teams are practicing. Montgomery Biscuits, Durham Bulls. And then also I want to do a little update on something on Highway 192 that happened a few days ago when I wasn't here. Kind of disappointing. I want to go check that out too. Looking at Howard here. Not because I'm zoomed in on the duck, but I'm reminded that I need to go by the gym that I had a contract at last year, and I need to go ahead and re-sign for another one because I really need to probably start getting back on track with not getting heavy again and doing a little more cardio. I mean, I walk a lot every day, but I need to get back on the treadmill kick. So I'm gonna go by there and renew my membership. Not gonna make a huge deal of it and make a big deal of the whole thing as far as going on a diet or anything like that. But I do need to eat a little bit better, but more than that, I need to be a little more active. I go out every day. I'm a very, very busy person. I completely, try to stay busy every single day. And I walk a lot of steps every day. I say my average step is probably between 13 and 18,000 every day. If I hit a theme park hopping and things like that, it might get to 20, 21, sometimes 22,000 per day. I think my average steps every day throughout the course of a year, even putting in days I don't do anything, is around 11,000. 10 to 11,000 would be the average, and then a normal day, 15 to 18,000. So I do walk a lot, but I really kind of want to get back on the treadmill. Another thing I talk about the treadmill, looks like something's going to take place over here in this little courtyard. But with me, time really is kind of crunched all the time. I see these videos every day, I film all day, I edit in the evening, and then, a little time to stare at a wall for an hour without looking at a phone or a camera with the editing process and all that. The last thing I really want to do is sit down in front of a TV and watch an episode or watch anything. Now last year, I got caught up on a lot of stuff simply because I was stuck on a treadmill for 45 minutes every day. I was able to watch some of the shows that I never have time to watch, like Better Call Saul, Stranger Things, WandaVision, Loki, some movies. I know it doesn't seem completely normal. Well, it's not normal, but I don't really watch a whole heck of a lot of them unless I'm researching something for a filming location. It's tough for me to get through different series. So this is going to be kind of an opportunity for me to get caught up on some films I need to see and get back into some of the new, like the new series of Mandalorian came out, or the new season of Mandalorian came out. So by me planning myself somewhere for 45 minutes to an hour every day, that's going to also get me back in shape. And then also I can watch some TV shows again, which would be kind of nice. I would say I'm probably in the lower percentile of sitting down on a couch and watching stuff. It just rarely happens. I think it's just because I'm just completely, committed to going out and filming every day. and you know, the editing and all that. By the time I'm done with it, I just don't want to be sitting around staring at a tube. So anyway, that is basically what I'm putting out there. I'm going to renew my gym membership, get caught up on some shows, and hopefully start to drop a couple pounds and get a little fit again. That's all I'm going to say about that, other than I'm going to renew my gym membership, and then when I'm on the road traveling, I'll hit the gyms in hotels and whatnot too. Pretty consistently. I'm going to try to anyway. And sometimes I will post those, you know, workout updates and things on my Instagram. My Instagram is TheDailyWoo, ATW. TheDailyWoo, ATW. All one word, no spaces, no dots, anything like that. I also have Facebook, /TheDailyWoo. And the only time I will ever comment from a YouTube page will be with a verified check mark. So just a heads up. If you ever see any kind of comments on YouTube from anyone about anything, the only one that's going to be me is going to be spelled out TheDailyWoo with a verified check mark. Anything else, it's not me. So just putting that out there as well. There's a crow right here. Hello, crow. Don't fly away, crow. Just stay right here, crow. Make E. Hitchcock would be proud. It's a beautiful looking crow. You looking for Tippy Hedren? Just to reiterate, this is not going to be an intense diet plan by any. I'm not going to weigh myself every day or anything like that. But hopefully over time I'll see some progress through these videos and seeing my face on a camera and posting things and whatnot. You know, it's just it'll be a slow process. But it's more about just detaching myself, standing on top of something, walking in a straight path while looking at my phone, and getting caught up on some shows that I never have time to see. Sometimes I wonder if the bottlenecking by the Mickey Power Pole on I-4 westbound will ever change, or if it'll just continue to get worse. That golf cart right there is taking the umpires over to a scrimmage game that is taking place for the farm teams. I guess it's about to start. I guess I timed this perfectly. All right, this is pretty cool. So even though the World Baseball Classic is taking place and a lot of the MLB players are playing for their different countries that they are from, and also spring training is in full effect, the MLB Rays, Tampa Bay Rays, have been relocated to St. Pete and Tampa area, but all the farm teams are all here, and they're going to have an inter-squad game today, which appears they are being warming up for. So I'm going to get to watch a little baseball for no charge. Just walk in and check it out. Also, this is the temperature right now at 12:30. I mean, granted, I'm like 4 miles from Celebration, but you get the general idea. 57 degrees, a little afternoon. Pretty dang nice. Also, since I was mentioning, I'm going to show you the steps. So back in March, I did a 23,000 day, 19,000 day, back in March also, 5,000 that day. So just kind of looking at the yearly average, you know, on average, even with the slow days, almost 11,000 steps, 10,700 steps a day is my average, but some days I get, you know, 15, 20, 22-ish. I get a lot of cardio in, but I need to do more. And obviously, eating a bunch of garbage like I have been probably doesn't help either, but that kind of goes with the ebbs and flows. Need to work on that too. And it looks like they're going to have 2 different games going on. One game over here. And, you know, the players are all just kind of roaming around, and then another game over here on this field. So 2 field games going on. I think that's kind of interesting too. It's like got all the coaches and other players. They're just really analyzing everything. Yeah, keep in mind with a lot of these farm teams, all these players want to make it to the big show. They want to make it to the big leagues. That's the goal in mind. mean, they're in the organization, but everyone wants to get to that, get to the top. Now, I'm not 100% sure which teams are playing which teams. You know, which ones are the Bulls, which ones are the Biscuits, which ones are the Bowling Green Hot Rods and Charleston River Dogs. But they're all here. At least I believe they're all here. And now leaving ESPN Wide World and gonna head over to Highway 192 and check on the Big Orange. See how that's doing. It had an incident last week, caught fire. I'm gonna check it out. Since I've been out of town for the last 10 or 11 days in a row, I was not here when Orange World caught fire a few days ago. And at first I had feared that it had burned down, and as time went on I started to see some more stuff online that it hadn't, and evidently it is going to stay open and they are going to reopen as time goes on, but for now it is closed. And I'm also here to report that I had thought that the Florida Project mural over here had also been burned, but it is still here. Thankfully, this very iconic little mural over here was not charred. So for that, I'm pretty happy. When you think of Highway 192 landmarks, you definitely think of a lot of different stuff. The Big Orange being one of them. You know, also the Wizard gift shops and things like that. But yeah, you see they got it still pretty active here. They got the plants out front. They're still shipping out the fruit. So really it has not deterred their business too much, with the exception of just not being able to have guests inside to ring them up at the moment until they rebuild the interior of it. They got the sign here out front. Sorry, we're temporarily closed due to fire damage, but they will be back soon. 3 exclamation points and underline there. So they have an employee out front. So she was saying the inside is pretty badly burned, but they are gonna fix it up. Basically, it started on one side of the interior and then kind of moved across.
We'll see if you go around back.
Oh, if you see it around back? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I'll walk around there. So she also said that they're not doing any shipping right now. They have no power at the moment. So all the shipping containers are outside. You can kind of peek in the front doors. You have both of them up, it's probably just to air it out. And it did look pretty bad in there. You can see some of the merchandise was in there all burned up and charred. And then here around the back, oh yeah. So they've opened the windows, obviously, and they have this door open. So it looks like most of the damage is here around the back. Oh wow, yeah. I mean, it looks like a lot of the merchandise is still okay though. A lot of the Disney pens and things they sell over there. They have the fresh squeezed orange juice. So a lot, yeah, definitely quite a smell of fire smell. And no power. But they will be back. They're going to build the interior back up at some point. So the fire inspector was here a little earlier, according to the employee that was out front. Still trying to figure out exactly what caused it. Probably why this line is here. Well, I don't know if that's be like a fire inspector line or not, but you can just see how this melted. This trash can was completely melted. Part of the tile fell off here. Part of the shark that is up here. See the half the shark there from the gift shop on this side. And maybe that's where the fire department might have cut that to get inside there so they could, you know, spray the hoses down in there. It is amazing that this right here was not charred. Such an integral part of Highway 192. You know, when you think of Highway 192, Earl Bronson, you think of the Orange World. So it is good that the facade itself still exists. The big orange is still here. But, you know, obviously, just from what I just showed, it's gonna need a lot of work. But over time, I feel like it'll kind of work itself out. They seem pretty adamant and pretty into getting it open again. But time will tell. But I had to stop by here just to kind of see what had happened here in Kissimmee, Florida on Highway 192 in Orange World. I think they said they're gonna reopen it. They just gotta get their power back and fix the whole inside. If you walk around the back, you can see the whole around the back is all burned out. Oh, it'll be a while before it's done. The whole inside's burned, so you can see the burn marks up there. If you go over the front, you can look right in the front window and see all the burn.
It happened a week ago on Tuesday, yes.
We can order.
Hopefully not. Hopefully not. It's mostly to the back end. I mean, most of it is because the firefighters came in like make sure because it's the dome, and they took all the ceiling panels down and no extras.
Why we came out.
I mean, I can take the order and have the cash. I can figure out what to do. Because we haven't.
Yeah.
Then I would have to call over there. I think they have to.
Oh, we don't have cash. We were just in the room at heart.
Yeah. I don't even. I think he may even take our site down. I don't know. Give me 1 second.
Are there any other places around here to order or no? It's the only one? Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Now out front, their marquee still works, so the marquee has power, but the interiors inside, there is no power. Grapefruit's in season, grapefruit free samples, honey tangerine samples. So she was saying, the employee up front said, if they have anything that's out on the little porch with cash, they can sell cash, but no credit cards because there is no power inside. But just the marquee has power. Okay, that's the update. See what happens down the road in the future. A little progress as time goes on whenever I'm in town. See a lot of people pulling in, probably not realizing what happened. From the exterior, it's hard to tell. As I'm pulling back into Celebration, I actually have a fire truck going by on the other side of me down the road. I have officially renewed my gym membership for another year. It was set to expire, I think, in about 2 weeks when it had said, give me another year. So, and I will now be able to show up here, Celebration, at the gym. Gotta get my game face back on. Not making any super promises, but I do have a time frame in mind, which I did last year. I did really well, and then I started slacking towards the end of the year, and I've been slacking all year. I go to an event every year, I have been for a decade now, called Dragon Con. It's a convention in Atlanta, Georgia. I think this will be my 10th year, maybe my 11th year, 10th year, give or take. Except for the year in 2020 when it didn't happen. And I'm kind of using that as a time frame to drop some pounds. It's like less than 6 months off. I did this segment last year and it worked out pretty good motivational wise. Called it Thin by Dragon Con, Part 2. This time it won't be quite as extreme as in past. I'm not gonna make any super promises to myself, but I have, 5.5, 6 months till then. I could just kind of get on a regiment. Maybe not even doing daily workouts on the treadmill, but even if I did 4 or 5 a week and kept a pretty good game plan, I think I could see some progress. Slow progress. Kind of on the fence with whether or not I want to, also classic car alert, 1931 truck here, on whether or not I want to weigh myself. I might hop on the scale just to see the travesty that has happened over the last few months. See my weight gain. But I don't think I'm going to weigh myself every morning like I was doing. I mean, it does help quite a bit with keeping me motivated. But like I said, it's a 6 month goal, not something I can do in 2 months. So maybe I'll just go on based on, appearances in the mirror, on the camera, and just how I feel more than a set, specific number. That's what I'm going to try anyway. And obviously, still ride my bike, walk around. You could jog instead of getting on a treadmill. The thing that's good about a treadmill, as stated, you put my phone in front of me like this, put it on the treadmill, and watch whatever I want to watch. And I am stuck there on said movement, or a Stairmaster, or bike, or anything like that that has a little thing that you can put this on. I got the headphones in, where on a bicycle, you're just kind of resorting to podcasts and music and things like that. And if I hit the weights in the gym as well, that'll be something I could put the headphones on and listen to podcasts, Rays baseball games. Also, I do love listening to Rays baseball, Andy Fried and Dave Wills. However, Dave Wills, honestly, that team, probably one of the best in baseball as far as calling a game. Dave Wills passed on about a week or so ago, 2 weeks ago. And it's pretty sad when I think of sports broadcasters for baseball. I think he was probably one of my favorites, not just because I love the Rays, but because when I'm on the road traveling, I would listen to those two guys, and I almost preferred listening to them than sometimes even watching it on television. I just searched random countdown clock, typed in Dragon Con, started Dragon Con when I'm checking in the hotel there. 167 days. So I got plenty of time, but I want to stay accountable. It's also going to be interesting what they end up doing for who's going to replace Dave with Andy. And obviously I'm still going to listen to the games. But I listened to a lot of other teams' broadcasters on the road last year, and none of them, I don't know, I just felt like there really wasn't any comparison. There might be a couple, but some of them weren't as good as the Dave Wills and Andy Fried team up. I think Neil Solondz might take the place. I mean, I'm just kind of speaking Tampa Bay, you know, baseball here, but yeah. This thing's not spinning. The little lights aren't twinkling, Clark. I have 12 stadiums on my agenda this year that I have not visited before. Well, actually, it's going to be more than 12 stadiums. But 12 stadiums that I have not been to while the Rays are playing. I might pop into a game or two where the Rays are not playing. I'm trying to knock off all the stadiums by the end of 2024. And with the new rules and the new scheduling, I should be able to do that. Originally, I was going to do 13 stadiums. But I do not believe I'm going to be able to make it to Toronto this year because I was not able to get my passport in time before the first Toronto series. And the Rays are playing 2 Toronto series in Toronto this year. The second one, I already have plans for, I think it's in September, I believe it is. Maybe August, September, early October. And I will not be able to go to that one. But the one coming up in the very near future, within the next month or so, that series I'm not going to be able to. Also, don't feed the alligators. You don't want to feed the alligators. I'm just basically trying to stay as busy as humanly possible this year with travel plans, and the baseball series is going to help a lot. You know, hopefully by the end of 2024, and maybe even 2025, I have been to every stadium rooting for the Rays, which is kind of cool. It's just like one of those kind of niche things that which not a lot of people have done. I don't know if anyone's really ever done it. Rooting for the team that you like at every MLB stadium within a couple of years. A lot of people have been to all the stadiums, but I want to go to all of them while the Rays are there. It'll take some time, but I'm going to accomplish it. And the reason for attempting to accomplish this? None whatsoever, other than just saying I did it. I like doing it. I just like staying busy. And it kind of gives me a reason to, you know, stay active, stay on the road, stay traveling. Go to a game, and then while I'm in that city, do 3, 4, 5, 6 other days in that same general area, non-baseball related. I didn't really have a New Year's resolution this year. One of them was just not to make any major promises to myself. That goes with like the weight loss and all that. And I'm kind of amending that a little bit. I'm not making any super promises. But as stated, just kind of throwing it into the universe what I want to do just to feel a little bit better and lose a little bit of weight and get a little bit more active and watch some actual television shows. I just do not have, I guess I would have the time, but as you know, I've already kind of, I don't want to reiterate myself too much, but it'd just be nice to just get, I don't want to say off the grid, but just get detached from my normal routine by just getting on a movable cardio machine with something in front of me, and that can be like my hour a day or hour a night, 4 times a week, 5 times a week. Heck, maybe I'll do it every day, I don't know. As I said, no promises. But one thing I really want to do in 2023 was stay busier than I've ever been travel-wise any other years. Constantly hopping on planes, constantly doing road trips, coming back here for a short while, going back out on the road. I just want, if there's anything that could get me to go somewhere to do something and then stay in that area and do things I don't normally, kind of get out of my comfort zone of like the usual places I go to. Obviously, you know, like I stated, I'm gonna be at Dragon Con as always, but if I could do other things that I don't usually do, because there's 3 or 4 or 5 places across the US I always go every year, and I'm still gonna go to those spots, but I want to add in more into the repertoire, if you will. Well, that's gonna do it for today. Thanks for listening. I'll see you in the next video. This is just kind of a low-key video. The vlog is over. And one last thing, bonus footage. This lobster is sending some mail out. Right there. Even lobsters need to write home every once in a while. Something to write home about? You got something to write home about, lobster? I think maybe this lobster has something to write home about. The lobster's not moving though. The lobster's just... All right, take care, lobster. Take care, lobster. I want to know what that lobster wrote. Send out some snail mail. Not snail mail. Lobster mail.